Recording in progress.
It is my pleasure to introduce the students of Ortega Elementary School. It's my pleasure to introduce the students of Ortega Elementary School, Hazel, Abigail, Hudson, and Riley, who will lead us in the flag salute, read the land acknowledgement, and provide highlights from their school. Oh.
And I'm Riley Stewart. We are both in 5th grade at Ortega School.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Pacifica School District acknowledges that we gather on the unceded ancestral homelands of the Ramaytush Ohlone people. As guests, we humbly extend our gratitude to the Ramaytush Ohlone elders and community.
We recognize that we benefit from living and working on their traditional homeland, and we affirm their sovereign rights as First People. As the original stewards of this land, the Ramaytush Ohlone understand the interconnectedness of all things and the importance of maintaining harmony with nature. Likewise, Pacifica School Districts commits to teaching our school's community and how to be responsible stewards of this land.
Hello, I'm Hudson Schaefer and I'm in 4th grade at Ortega School. And one of the exciting activities that we do here at Ortega to help build community and promote positive behavior is our recent Harvest Fest, where we had a fun carnival and games for students and their parents. It's a great way to bring the fall season and share with the community.
Hi, I'm Hazel Smith. And I'm a 4th grader at Ortega School. Another great community event that's coming up will be our color walk and roll, followed by a dance party. This will happen on October 24th. We always have fun getting in shape as we walk, dance, and cover one and up with vivid color.
Peacemakers is a training program to help student leaders become conflict mediators on campus. They are voted by their classroom peers and are trained by teachers and counselors to learn how to do conflict management. They're sent out at recess and students reach out to them for help.
An important part of being on the Peacemakers team is our ability to help students and understand one another, especially when there is a problem or a disagreement. We model the behaviors we hope others will learn from and be able to make positive change in our community.
And Otter News is Ortega's own news broadcast. Student anchors are nominated by their teachers to share what's happening on campus. Students and teachers are interviewed by their peers for certain segments. Teacher feature and question of the day. We do funny skits and activities to show other otters what a pause attitude looks like. Here is a small excerpt from our newscast.
Teacher feature with our awesome new Ortega principal. Take it away, Kaylee and Leah.
Hi, I'm Rhea. And I'm Kaylee. In today's teacher feature, we have Mr. Stafford. What do you do here at Ortega?
I am the interim principal here at Ortega School.
What is your favorite part about being at Ortega?
My favorite part about being here at Ortega is seeing the kids every day.
Where are you originally from?
I am originally from a small community called Camp Dix in eastern Kentucky.
Do you have any special skills or talents?
I write and sing and produce my own music.
Thank you, Mr. Stafford. That was your teacher feature, where we find teachers in their natural habitat.
Back to you in the studios.
Students know that PAW stands for being positive, acting responsibly, working hard, and being safe. It is fun to be part of the In Otter News team. We get to interview teachers and students to help create a positive and caring community at Ortega. Finally, we want to thank the school board trustees for inviting us here inviting us to be here this evening so that we can share with you. Our honorly
Okay, Barbara, can you take the vote? Yes. Here? Here. Here. The district records the audio portions of the meetings. All recordings are kept in the superintendent's office for 30 days and are available during that time period for inspection by members of the public on district equipment without charge. All public comment must be made in person unless a board member will attend remotely or otherwise specified on the board agenda. Speakers wishing to address the board on agenda or non-agenda items, please complete a request card with your name, address, and the item number and submit it to the board president or superintendent. You will be called to address the board and may speak up to 3 minutes. Please note, the public is welcome to provide comment to the board. Remarks are limited to 3 minutes unless extended to or limited by a vote of the board. A maximum of 20 minutes, unless extended by the board, is allocated for each subject discussed. The Brown Act open meeting regulations under which the board must operate do not allow board members to comment on non-agenda items or information you may bring up that are not on the agenda. Additionally, no action can be taken. However, the board may give direction to the staff following a comment. Okay, approval of the agenda. I would like to move item 10E, which is in the information, should be an action item. Need to move that to and be item 11K at the end. So that's the only change in that is to move it from an information item to an action item. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
One more suggestion
Mhm.
on 11.
Microphone,
The resolution.
your microphone.
Oh,
For 11J, the resolution for school safety, I would like to read that, but exclude the high school that's named in there and stick with enunciation. Is that how I do that? Is that okay? There's still one area, I think it's number 1, where it still says Hillcrest or
Okay.
the Texas high school.
Okay, so we'll just adjust that then. Okay, do I have a motion to, do you have a change?
Nope, I was gonna make a motion
Oh.
to approve the agenda with the
Two changes. Okay, do I have a second?
All in favor? And motion passes forward.
Okay, report out on closed session topics. We had no reportable action was taken at this time. And we'll go to approval of the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda will be approved with one motion, which is not debatable, and which requires a unanimous vote for passage. If any member of the board, the superintendent, or the public so requests, any item shall be removed from that section and placed on the regular order of business following approval of the consent agenda. Please note that item 8F has been corrected to provide the correct language, the correct name of the Little League team, Pacifica Little League, instead of Pacifica American Little League. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Do I have a second?
Second. And passes forward.
Okay. Communications, or we have the minutes? Okay. The minutes of September 10th, those were all on the consent agenda. Okay, they just got rearranged here. Okay, communications, LSEA.
Good evening. Thank you to everyone who was, is it echoing? Am I okay? Okay. Thank you to everyone who was able to attend our LSEA and CSEA back to school social. Since the last board meeting, we had our first negotiations meeting. We began crafting language and working with Article 15, Safety Conditions of Employment, which includes language not only about natural disasters and contagious diseases, but safety in regards to student behavior towards our members and other students. LSEA is working with CTA to work and craft ideas to add a section on safety in regards to technology and potential impacts of AI. Our next session is October 23rd. Yesterday, we shared various concerns with Martha and Carissa. Most pressing is the complicated pay issues people are continuing to see. We continue to urge the board to advocate on our behalf with the county and their new system. We are anxious as another month passes by and people are still not receiving correct payment. We continue to encourage the district to communicate to employees about the status of our pay and when issues should be resolved. We encourage the board to have continued communication with community members, school site visibility, and conversation with labor partners. As always, our union leaders are happy to have a conversation with any of you or have you attend a union meeting. Just reach out and we can coordinate. Thank you.
CSU?
Hi, good evening. Our message to you tonight was originally going to have a very different tone until yesterday evening. On Monday, during our executive board meeting, we listened to members share concerns from across our sites. Before speaking here tonight, we felt it was important to seek answers. The issues raised included members working out of class, the need for stronger communication, delays in medical reimbursements, and questions about why the CSCA Sunshine Statement referred to a modest salary increase when the language was not reflected in the LSEA Sunshine. We reached out to Dr. Bowman by email to request that our monthly meetings continue, and she responded immediately with a time to meet. Yesterday evening, after LSEA's meeting with her and Deputy Superintendent Dr. Ladd, we sat down together. We weren't sure what to expect, but the conversation was open and productive. We began with the pressing concerns of the members working out of class, a situation that causes both delays and frustration. We were assured that the district will meet directly with affected members and work towards resolution. We also learned that the sunshine items were drafted by different attorneys and that no ill intent was behind the differences in wording. The district acknowledged the ongoing issues with paychecks, reimbursements, and other fiscal matters, and we are hopeful that by our next board meeting, new positions will be approved and posted to better reflect the needs of our district. It was a long meeting, but a meaningful one, and we left feeling optimistic about moving forward. Tonight, we're very proud to recognize 14 of our permanent classified members for their dedication and service. We also want to thank everyone who joined us for the recent LSCA CSCA Back to School Get Together at Sharp Park Restaurant. More than ever, it is important that we support one another and take time to connect in a relaxed setting. Special thanks to Megan for the strong relationship she has built with CSCA. We deeply value your experience and wisdom. We also appreciate seeing board members Bradal and Hart, Superintendent Bowman, and Principals Stafford, Alderson, and Vuskovic. Please forgive us if we missed anyone. Finally, we are proud to honor our Above and Beyond Award recipients, Rebecca Lazaro and Julie Osiello. Despite their own workloads, they devoted extra time to boxing up all the books at the OSS library in preparation for the district office move to 411 Oceana. Their hard work, commitment, and teamwork ensured everything was ready for the next step, and we are truly grateful. CSEA Chapter 128 is proud of all of our Above and Beyond recipients. Our classified employees are dedicated, hardworking people who care about our students, our schools, and our district and our community. CSEA will continue to shine a spotlight on Pacifica School District's wonderful classified employees. We believe that the hard work, the dedication, and the contribution of our valued classified employees should be celebrated and rewarded. Union proud, union strong.
People wishing to address the board. Nicole Fletcher.
Hi, my name is Nicole Fletcher, and I'm a parent of 2 TKers and a second grader at Ortega. I'm also the parent council rep for Ortega, and I'm here to ask, tonight to ask the board to please prioritize budgeting for a new or at least updated TK play yard at Ortega Elementary. On the very first day of school, just to give you some background, in August, an inspector came and deemed the current playground unsafe for children under 5. While this wasn't a concern in the past as there was no TK, we understand that it makes sense now. And many of our kids, including mine, have been playing on that structure since they were toddlers. So we don't see the need for it. But and at first we thought there would just be a few modifications needed. However, about 2 weeks ago, inspectors returned and determined that the blacktop surface under the structure is too hard for any of the students to play on it safely. It's now been fully taped off and leaving only a concrete space for all of the students to use during recess. I completely understand that these things take time and that the situation's super unexpected. But with an interim principal currently in place, who we love, I just want to make sure that this doesn't fall through the cracks at Ortega. I respectfully ask that this issue be added to a future board agenda and that the progress on the playground modifications or construction can be communicated by you to the families through Parent Square. The Ortega community is eager to stay informed and, more importantly, to see movement toward a safe and age-appropriate play area for all our kids. The Ortega community is also asking for regular. Oh, I already said that. We just want to be informed. But as also a quick aside, I also want to mention one other maintenance issue. The school gutters have not been maintained in a while, and there are tons of weeds growing out of the gutters and kind of looks like a living roof now. So I just want to bring that also to your attention, and hopefully all these can get addressed. I know that it takes time and money and all of that, but I just don't want it to fall through the cracks for our students. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and we appreciate your support.
Okay. Hannah Stillwell?
Hi, my name is Hannah Stillwell, and I have a current student, TK student, that's actually here with us today at Ortega. I'm going to be very fiercely reiterating what Nicole already mentioned. Speaking to express a growing concern shared by many at Ortega Elementary, one that directly affects the developmental well-being of our youngest learners. As it stands, the playground structures at Ortega are designed for children ages 5 to 12. However, we do have a population of 4-year-old TK students who attend our school every day and currently do not have access to these play areas. Instead, they are limited to a concrete courtyard for recess. While staff and families have worked hard to provide toys and resources to make this space more engaging, it cannot replace the developmental value of a proper play structure. Watching their older peers, just a year older in some cases, play freely while they cannot sends a discouraging message and denies them a key part of early childhood development. Playgrounds are not just nice to have, they are essential. They support physical growth through gross motor development, encourage social interaction and emotional regulation, and provide vital opportunities for problem solving and imaginative play. These experiences are foundational to cognitive growth and academic readiness. In fact, access to appropriate play has been shown to reduce stress and support classroom learning. And now, with 2 of our 3 playgrounds shut down due to failed inspections, the situation is even more urgent. We'd like to know what the plan is moving forward. How are we prioritizing the needs of all of our students, especially the youngest and the most vulnerable? Age-based restrictions make sense from a safety standpoint, but we must also consider developmentally appropriate solutions that don't leave our TK students behind. Their age is not something they can control, and it should not be the reason they are excluded from such a critical part of the school experience. This issue cannot be put on the back burner. Our TK students deserve a safe, stimulating place to play, just like every other child on campus. And I'm urging leadership to address this on the next agenda and to begin working toward a solution. Thank you.
Okay. Amber Friedler?
Tell me, how are the broader community, seniors, taxpayers, residents who don't use Parent Square being informed about how their tax dollars are being spent? They voted yes on these measures and are entitled to answers. You have also cut off Zoom public comment, effectively silencing seniors, people with disabilities, parents without childcare, and citizens working full-time jobs. Many of them are the very taxpayers funding these measures. This is not just exclusion, It's a disgraceful act of discrimination. These answers cannot be buried in selective emails. I am calling for a public meeting where every member of Pacifica can hear firsthand how their money is being managed, comment on, and hear what commitments are being made. Anything less is unacceptable. Even more troubling, a sitting board member, Bridget Hart, who is also the paid director of Pacifica Volunteers, now oversees an organization with exclusive access to school volunteer coordination. Abstaining from one vote does not erase the glaring conflict of interest. The perception of personal financial gain erodes public trust and violates the ethical duty of the board.
Okay, Board Superintendent Correspondence and Communications.
I was lucky enough to be invited to and attend the CSCA and LSCA social at Sharp Park Restaurant. Thank you to our teachers and classified staff. I went to Ortega's Fall Harvest Festival. It was really lively and busy. Great to see their PTO organize a successful event. Thank you, Miss. Thank you, Miss V. I had my couple of one-on-ones with superintendent. There's a lot happening behind the scenes. She and the cabinet are working really hard. And it takes a lot of heavy lifting to keep our schools functional. On Monday night, I attended the San Mateo County School Boards Association quarterly dinner and meeting. The presentation focused on supporting immigrant students and families in times of uncertainty. The speakers emphasized that fear and chronic stress can deeply affect student learning, attention, and well-being. They had some speakers that let us know that the budget for ICE is supposed to triple this week. And we haven't seen any ICE presence in our schools, but they are in the county, and they provided some really good resources, such as a 24/7 hotline presented by or organized by Faith in Action Bay Area. This hotline connects families to attorneys and respond quickly if someone is detained. And I'll make that hotline number available for all the principals. That's it.
Remembered. I had my one-on-one meetings with Carissa. I also went to the Ortega Carnival with my grandkids and my son, and she had a blast. I did sit on the play structures and noticed all the tape and whatnot. And I also did notice the weeds growing out of the gutters. And so I hope we can take care of that too. I had a correspondence from Amber Friedler, and I'd like to read my response. Dear Miss Friedler, thank you for your email to me regarding the recall effort. Since your email was addressed to me personally, I want to respond directly and transparently. Your public offer to withdraw the recall against me and Trustee Bradell in exchange for the resignations of Trustees Doggett and Brocchini raises concerns about process and public input. The recall is officially in progress and was initiated in part to return this decision to voters. Redirecting that decision through political offers effectively takes away the public's right to vote. Recalls should not be used as political leverage, but rather as a legal process that empowers the community to make its own choices through open elections. Decisions about who serves on this board should be made by the community. not through political pressure or negotiations among a few individuals. Additionally, this type of proposal you suggested, negotiating outcomes involving board resignations outside of a properly agendized public meeting, is not in line with the requirements of the Brown Act, which ensures transparency, public participation, and fairness in local governments. This response is made in my individual capacity in accordance with the Brown Act and reflects a commitment to transparency, not board action or political position. I fully support the community's right to vote through the recall process and determine the outcome through lawful open means. Thank you. I also have copies of the emails sent to me in my my statement, so we can put those out on the table if people want to look at them.
Thank you.
And that's it.
All right. Let's see, I've attended my one-on-ones with Carissa. I missed the last meeting, but I had been to an ethics training before that. I did want to mention and do a shout out to Ortega. They mentioned their Peacemakers program, which is really brings the conflict down to the kids and helps them learn the tools to resolve conflicts themselves and then therefore become adults that can also resolve conflicts themselves. So I want to just give a shout out to that. I think other schools in the district can definitely adopt that. I think of all the schools, that's got one of the strongest peer peacemaking groups, or I can't think of the words, but they have a great program there. So keep it up. And I just wanted to highlight that. I also wanted to mention, this is a very unfortunate thing, is when we all started being on the board, is there we did only service kindergartners through 12 for 3 8th graders. And since then, Gavin Newsom has given us the pleasure of also having TK students, which then made all of our structures suddenly out of compliance. So just so everyone knows, we were very much aware, and it wasn't purposeful at all. It's just that the parameters have changed on us since we started this journey. I also kind of want to sort of disappointed to hear in the gutters. I just want to make sure George is hearing that those gutters need to be cleaned. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Okay, I've had my one-on-ones with Dr. Bowman and several workforce housing meetings. So you'll see an update in a few minutes. I attended the LSCA and CSCA social, which was a great time to have everybody there together. Also with the Fog Fest and the Fog Fest parade that a lot of the schools and the children and the students participated in. And PSD had their own booth with a spinning wheel, and they had giveaways that included different toys for the kids and T-shirts and all that. And so that, and also personnel was there to try and recruit employees too. So that was a fun time and good weather on Saturday and iffy on Sunday, but it all went well. Okay, now we're going to go on to the information items. And the first information item is the workforce housing update. We do have one public speaker, and that would be Amber Friedler. Well, just a minute. Do we have another presentation that's not on my? Do we have another presentation that's not on my list? Okay, all right.
Sorry.
Okay.
I have urgent questions that demand clear, direct, and honest answers. Since
I just
you're,
called her up there.
can you restart the clock, please?
Sorry about that, Amber.
That's okay. It's okay. I have urgent questions that demand clear, direct, and honest answers. Since your September 25th Parent Square email, your statements about the workforce housing project have been nothing but contradictory. You claimed construction would begin in January 26th, yet the same breath admitted that after discussing the options, the board rejected all general contractor bids from August and passed a motion to rebid the project in different parts and phases. This is not just confusing, it's a blatant contradiction. And now suddenly you've produced a slideshow designed to create the illusion of progress, conveniently timed right before the recall deadline. Is this just another desperate last-ditch attempt by the board to save face after dropping the ball yet again? Regarding these so-called phases, how much is allocated for each? What specific measure is funding them? If measure money is being used, identify exactly to the public which measure and the dollar amounts committed. And when you refer to financially capable partners, am I correct in assuming you mean outside investors brought in because you have already mismanaged the funds taxpayers entrusted to you? So instead of responsibly managing the tens of millions already dedicated to this project, you're now trying to cover your failures by borrowing or attracting more money. The community deserves to know the full extent of this mismanagement. Your vague timelines and evasive language only deepen distrust. I am demanding full transparency, a detailed breakdown of every phase, every budget allocation, every funding source, and a realistic timeline for this project, if it really even is happening at all. Do you even know when to stop? We are already in a massive budget crisis, and yet you continue piling on debt. It's reckless. I expect direct answers to every question raised here without further deflection. I do believe you have a 10-day requirement to provide data to me.
Website.
Stop. Linda, stop. Linda, stop. Okay, the speaker is Lev Fleischman.
Good evening, just checking the mic, make sure this is working okay. Good evening, board, trustees. We come before you to give you an update on progress we've made since the last board meeting. We are moving forward as rapidly as we can to rebid the project in order to avoid some of the conflict we had with the last round. We're in the process of negotiating a project labor agreement with the San Mateo County Trades Union, which will help to alleviate the protests from the local carpenters union. And we are going to be issuing at the end of the week a new request for qualifications to general contractors with the information included in that request for qualifications that the job will be under a PLA. We will issue that next week and hope that by the end of October, we will have the qualifications resubmitted and reviewed, and we will come before the board to make our recommendations for the next round of contractors to participate in a request for proposals. The project has always been anticipated to be built in two phases. Phase one is 45 units and phase two is 25 units. There is an option in phase two to reduce the number of units in phase two from 25 to 17, based on the information we have from our cost estimators. That should bring the project down to the budget that we had all been discussing over the past year. So we're going to ask the new round of general contractors to include both the phase one at 45, phase two at 25, and then an alternate to phase two at additional 17 units. And that will give us the opportunity to align the project scope with the available funds that have been discussed for the last year. We are going to come before the board in December with the revised numbers from the general contractors, and we hope to have a decision and a contract in place so that construction can start in early January. One of the things that we did learn from the first round of bidding was that our assumed construction schedule was more extended than it needed to be. The general contractors felt that they could finish the job much more quickly. So we're not changing the completion date of the project. So we still are anticipating opening the first units in August of 2027. In order to accelerate and show progress, we are working really diligently to sign a contract with a demolition contractor so that we can complete the demolition of the existing building. We need to go through a number of things that are requirements of the approvals process from the city that are part of the mitigation measures. So we're putting together a traffic logistics plan, stormwater management plan, material recycling plan, and arranging for a biologist who needs to assess some of the existing environmental conditions of the site before we commence with the demolition. And we expect the demolition contract to be signed either in late October, early November, and have the existing school completely demolished by the end of this year. In regard to a financially capable partner, there's discussions going on, not with private development companies, but with other institutional and educational organizations to provide additional housing to other teachers, either in the county or in adjacent districts. And those will be ongoing discussions in order to try to make sure that we can combine phase 1 and phase 2 and deliver all the units and provide the most economical project. So as noted before, we're targeting January 2026 for the start of construction. Should everything go as we have anticipated with the rebid of the project. Any questions?
I know that in really little print, it says what the city of Pacifica was doing, but why was it at the city of Pacifica for 4 years? The planning. It's a project review.
Right. So this is always a challenge to separate, building permit from in the approvals of the design. So for the approvals of the design, unfortunately, it was on the docket, but then when the pandemic came around, it had a big impact on the city's ability to continue to process all the information. Part of the process was doing an environmental impact report. Those usually take at least a year to process. There was also a development agreement that was required, and then it took a long time to develop the actual legal text of the development agreement and establish all of the conditions between the school district and the city. And so all of those things sort of added up to, create a significant traffic jam. And so that's why it took a lot longer to get through the design review approvals process than had originally been scheduled.
All right, so that was a long time to be there. In the proposals that you're going to present in December, can you also put down an informational sheet of how much the proposed rents would be for the employees, the 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms?
Sure.
In relation to the bond money and how much we're using and how much, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I do. And I think last December, we presented that information to you. It's all very tied together in terms of, rent and revenue and how that offsets the operating costs of the project.
Yes.
Certainly.
Just so the public knows that we don't allow, no, Brown Act, it's only the board that takes discussion and questions.
So in 3 months is the plan to start demoing that site.
The demolition, we hope to probably start in November.
November. Oh,
Yeah.
so even
Yeah.
like a
We're
month and a
trying to
half.
accelerate that as fast as possible.
Okay.
We're separating the demolition from the contract with the general contractor.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Do we have any other questions? No? Okay, thank you. And I do remember that time with the city. It did seem to be a combination of COVID, everything being shut down. Also a lot of negotiating over the soccer fields that were still going to be in use by the city. So that was a lot of extra paperwork and negotiating back and forth was, the future of the soccer fields.
I just thought it would be good for the public to
Yeah.
know. Specifically.
You know,
I
that
think everything shut down for a while, but then when we realized it wasn't opening back up, we had to go forward. So that
Yeah.
took some time.
it's the challenge of doing this kind of project in California. You've all probably seen it in the news. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, love. Okay, item B, California State recognition of PBIS implementation of Pacifica schools. Dr. Ladd.
Good evening. I'm excited to be here tonight to bring you some good news on the work we're doing in our multi-tiered systems of support across the district and the work we've been doing on positive behavior intervention and support, which is building our school climate and culture. We'll get started. Tonight we'll be celebrating our work from last year, looking at the structures and support that we've built across our schools. We'll be talking about the state's recognition system and how it kind of sets goalposts for us that we work towards during the school year, and how we are supporting our principals and our leadership teams in that work, and then what we're doing this year to continue that work. PBIS, our district has been a PBIS district for many years, and our current efforts are focused on systematizing that work so that it succeeds leadership and staff changes. The framework is flexible, so it's paradoxically, it survives changes in leadership and staff, but it also grows and changes with leadership, staff, students, and families. So it's highly flexible. A lot of the tools that we bring to our schools, like we're talking about, the peacemakers at Ortega, they're part of the PBIS work that they do at Ortega. If you're talking about some of the things that are happening on the other campuses or our SEL curriculum that we've adopted, it's part of our PBIS framework. So it's highly flexible and it will grow and change as the district grows and changes. It's also data-based, and so we can self-monitor how our children are doing, but we can also self-monitor how we are doing in the system itself. The basic tenets of the framework are that each school develops its own school-wide expectation. Students are taught the expectations for school, basically using the CASEL core competencies. So a lot of times when people think about being taught the competencies, it's like we're telling you how to be, but really we're grounded in sort of the trauma-informed practice of the CASEL framework, which is teaching children about self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. We develop positive and logic-based consequences, and we progress monitor both how our students are doing, how the program is doing, and how our staff is doing. So it has sort of that three-prong approach to our data. Again, schools make use of resources that already exist on campus. We have our SEL curriculum, Caring Schools and Community. Stop It is an anonymous reporting app and platform used for students to report safety concerns, either for themselves or things that they see on campus. It has actually been a really great tool and a great learning space for us on being able to communicate with students and to build relationships of trust with our kids. It's in 4th through 8th grade at all of our schools. Our school initiatives and assemblies related to behavior and mental health and school culture. And then of course we have our school counseling programs and other supports at all of our schools. Moving on to the state recognition program, starts kind of like the Olympics: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. And it's all about, there's 3 sort of tiers of support for children. Universal support is tier 1. Tier 2 is targeted support for students when they need a little bit extra cushioning and how to be successful in school. And then Tier 3 is more intensive supports. And so for us building this framework, we think of our work in the same way that we build that framework for our children. That Tier 1 is sort of how do we provide that universal support? How do we provide that targeted support? So that's sort of the bronze and the silver level. Tier 2 is the gold level, and then Tier 3 is the platinum level. This past year, Sunset Ridge and Cabrillo Elementary School received bronze level recognition. The school community successfully implemented core components of the PBIS framework, focusing on teaching and reinforcing positive behaviors for all students, and they created safe and positive learning environment. They have like digital versions of these medallions that they can put on their website, and their principals can put on their stationery, and I'm hoping that they put it on their parent square and send it out. One of the things that I particularly enjoyed tonight when Ortega was here was that their anchors told us about pause. They slipped it in, and they said about that they were otters and that they used pause, and that they were problem solvers, always kind, willing to try, and staying safe. And so part of being in PBIS is that we're always being reminded of how to be an otter, how to be a bulldog, how to be a star stallion, how to be a dolphin, a cougar. So, you know, it's part of who we are. And I was kind of proud of the kids today, really reminding us about who they are as a Ortega otter. So that was great. So anyway, Sunset Ridge and Cabrillo did really great work last year, and so they received bronze recognition. And then Ingrid B. Lacey, Ortega, and Valamar received silver recognition in their school communities. And the difference between bronze and silver reward is that they are using data to monitor the effectiveness of their PBIS framework and to make informed decisions to improve student and staff outcomes. So they actually have a system to monitor their data. And then we just have some like cool things like to look at about how there are some of the artifacts of what PBIS looks like around the district. Ocean Shore was doing a lot of pre-work for implementing PBIS last year. And so they are fully implementing this year in conjunction with what Sunset Ridge is doing. So they're getting that off the ground this year, and I'm looking forward to great things from them as well. The Otterly Awesome Otter tickets, when otters are caught being positive or acting responsibly, they get these otter tickets and then get certain kinds of recognition. Here's an example of an expectation chart of what you do when you're a problem solver or when you're always kind. And here's more ways to celebrate. Here's the school-wide behavior matrix at Valamar. And I think that's Jean in there. Yeah, that's Jean. I hope she's listening. There she is. And so there's the I in kind. So so that's cool. Is that up this year? Cool. Okay, get over there. Be the I in kind. Here's the IBL Bulldogs. I always love to say to Kathy, come on, Kathy, let's bark. So this is really great. Bulldogs bark, and it's a really great transition for our sixth graders to learn to bark. Maybe not so great for the sixth grade teachers, but it is great. And she has these posters that can be put up all over the classes, and I think they have a really great logo for the bulldog. So and here we go. There's Sue Beckmeyer, and there's Cabrillo Orcas. And the idea is that in everything we do, we should kind of be reminded of what our expectations are. And I love really how the bulldogs are barking. There's the star stallions, the otters have the paws. And who doesn't love an otter's paws? I think I love the way that people, and these have been in the community for a really long time, like I said, and we're just really putting an extra focus on it as we build out our MTSS framework, which is academics, behavior, and social emotional learning and mental health. And PBIS kind of cuts across all three of those things together. And here's the ORCA piece. So looking ahead, we're going to continue working. We are going to continue our work with our coach that we've been working with last year. She is a nationally recognized PBIS expert, and she will be working again with our district, our site-based teams, helping them move on to basic. I've been waiting to say this. She's going to be helping them go for the gold. And I'm hoping to be able to stand here next year with our teams. They will be implementing coordination of service teams across at all sites, where we'll be actively working on what does our data look like? How do we apply just right supports for kids? How do we remove those supports when kids don't need them anymore, so that they build independence and autonomy and confidence in themselves? And this is a great pre-referral strategy too, to keep kids from becoming overly dependent on strategies, or even being referred for special education when perhaps that's not what's needed for them. And then continue our work on Tier 1 and Tier 2 PBIS, and then continue to progress monitor our work throughout. So I thought this is a really great thing. I'm really proud of all of our schools for taking this on. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do in the year ahead. Are there any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, item 10C, 2024-25 celebration and recognition of newly certificated and classified staff of permanent status. Rachel Roma.
Hi, good evening, Board President Bradall and Board of Trustees. Tonight, we would like to congratulate the certificated and classified staff who have moved to permanent status in the Pacifica School District for the 2025-2026. For certificated staff, the standard is a 3-year process, starting as a temporary probationary teacher, dependent on the staffing needs for the district for the year of hiring, with the first day of the 3rd year, a fully certificated employee becoming permanent. For classified staff, the standard is a 6-month probationary period. We appreciate each and every employee for all their efforts in ensuring and supporting all students have access to rigorous and engaging instruction. Please join me in congratulating the following classified staff. And classified staff, if you are here, please join me at the podium when your name is called. Victoria Campy, paraprofessional, TK Cabrillo. Clara Bellinger, paraprofessional, Ingrid B. Lacey. Isabella Trujillo, child nutrition cook, Ingrid B. Lacey. Joseph Solano, school assistant, Ingrid B. Lacey. Janine Rivera, child nutrition cook, Ingrid B. Lacey. Jeanette Hoffman, paraprofessional, Ortega. Shauna Kapersky, school assistant, para, and library media technician at Ortega. Jennifer Valencia, school assistant, Sunset Ridge. Andrew Frank, paraprofessional, Sunset Ridge. Christina Sandoval, school assistant, Sunset Ridge. Isabella Trujillo, paraprofessional, Sunset Ridge. Martha Elmore, child nutrition cook, Sunset Ridge. Come on up. Yay. Rebecca Lazaro, library media technician, Sunset Ridge. Jennifer Loretta, child nutrition cook, Valleymar. And Megan Reed, school assistant, Valleymar. Let's have a nice round of applause for our classified staff. Thank you. Look at the camera though. Oh, look at the, we're on camera. Thank you. Congratulations. Now, please join me in congratulating the following certificated staff. Sarah Lopez, RSP teacher, Cabrillo. Belinda McCabe, teacher at Cabrillo. Stephanie Newts, teacher at Cabrillo. Catherine Kate Schneider, TOSA at the DO. Shannon Boland, teacher at Ingrid B. Lacey. Kylie Capella, teacher at Ingrid B. Lacey. Catherine Sosnowski, teacher at Ingrid B. Lacey. Scott Rice, psychologist, Sunset Ridge. Jennifer Sam, teacher at Sunset Ridge. And Kristen Patrone, teacher at Valleymar. Let's have a round of applause for our newly permanent certificated staff. Yay! Oh, picture. Congratulations and thank you for coming. I'm here for the next item also.
Okay, congratulations, everybody. Okay, item 10B, and that is the district office relocation update, and we have a public speaker, Amber Fiedler.
Your slideshow does a decent job of laying out who is involved in the renovation of the district offices and the timeline. But once again, the financials are conveniently missing. This is a glaring omission. What exactly are these funds? I'm sorry, where exactly are these funds coming from? Did the district take out a loan? Are you siphoning measure money that was supposed to be dedicated to school improvements or staff raises? The community deserves a clear and direct answer. This information should have been provided up front and it needs to be shared immediately, not just via Parent Square, but with our taxpayers. I looked online and couldn't find this information as it is either not there or extremely difficult to find. Again, another request. Please have this to me in no more than 10 days.
Okay, Rachel Romo.
Okay, I have a brief presentation on the district office relocation update as of now. And I just push this one, the white. Great. The green. Why the need for the relocation? So there's an abundance of caution, right? A lot of staff members at the district office had complained of just like breathing, and we contracted with forensic analysis consulting services. They did a report that was at, I think, 2 board meetings ago, right? And they looked at it and they recommended we need to increase our ventilation to mitigate mold growth. So we are doing this while we get bids. They do a sweep of what has to be done. While there's work being done at 375 Rain and Del Mar, we will relocate the district office staff to 411 Oceana. Here are the relocation team members, district office staff. You can see that every department was represented. And we've had several meetings so far, and we actually have another meeting tomorrow, as you'll see. Here's the timeline. We started our very first meeting. We had it on September 12th. We got together and we talked about values. So we talked about what do we value about this workspace currently? What do we really like at 375 Reina Del Mar? And then what do we hope to bring or hope to start new when we get to 411 Oceana? So building that community, making sure that we have goals for each other. We also created a timeline and worked on, okay, what needs to happen when and which department should be responsible for which task. We relied on our maintenance team starting on the 15th. They helped move any items that are the districts from 411 to LMEC. And then we reached out to CSEA for extra support. We asked them if they were interested in packing up the library, right, for extra compensation, and if they were interested in taking a virtual training on proper lifting techniques so that they could help us with this move. Ocean Shore staff, sorry, that date is 1 day off or 2 days off. I believe it was the 19th and the 18th maybe, that Ocean Shore staff was invited to do another walk of the campus to make sure that there's any missing items, any items that didn't make it to the move the first time, that they can collect those items and bring them up to their new location. And then we started deep cleaning last Monday, which is great. That contract went through at the board meeting. So we worked with Trinity Cleaning Services. Our next steps tomorrow, actually, tomorrow after at 4 o'clock, we are the relocation committee and all of the members. We're going to walk through 411. We're going to identify different workspaces for each department, and then just kind of make a map so that we are ready to support the rest of the district staff when they see 411 Oceana on 10/6. So next Monday, everyone is invited to a meeting there at around 4 o'clock, once things settle down, and they can just familiarize themselves with that space. Any of the extra furniture that's on the campus, we put some of it in the NPR if they want to claim different materials. This is a fresh start, right, for a lot of people for that space, so they can go there to collect any items. And then moving day is next Friday. We will have movers coming to 375 Reina Del Mar to 411 Oceana. And the goal is, after the long holiday, on the 14th, we will all be there ready to work. Any questions?
Okay, Rachel, I believe the reason there's no bond money listed or anything like that, because any repairs needed on this building are unknown right now because they have not investigated it yet.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
so we're moving there while they investigate
Yes.
what needs to be done in this building.
Correct.
So nothing has been assigned other than cleaning, which we have cleaning crews ourselves.
That is
Okay.
correct.
Anyone else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Remove the Proposition 28 to 11K, so we'll go on to action items. Okay, the first action item, 11A, is updated confidential salary schedule 25-26. Rachel Roma.
I'm here for a couple of these action items. So the first one is the confidential salary schedule. It's been updated to correct a typo, and it's changed the stated step increase between steps G and L from 1.5 to 1.3, and it added language clarifying the employee's eligibility for longevity per the district policy. I believe you've reviewed that, so it is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the updated confidential salary schedule for 2025-2026.
Are there any questions? Do I have a motion to approve the updated confidential salary schedule for 25-26? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Okay, 11B, resolution number 2025-10-01-A, week of the school administrator. Rachel Roma?
So per Ed Code 44015.1, in observance of the importance of educational leadership at the school district, and county levels, the second full week of the month in October of each year shall be designated as Week of the School Administrator. Schools, school districts, and county superintendents of schools are encouraged to observe the week with public recognition of the contribution that school administrators make to their schools and community. Research has repeatedly shown that quality school leadership is essential to student success. These leaders in turn are supported by a network of dedicated professionals, including special education and general education leaders, classified educational leaders, among many others. The importance of effective school leadership and district office leaders is essential. And in the Pacifica School District, we see evidence of such great administrative leadership. Would you like me to read the resolution? Or are we ready to make a vote?
Did you read it online?
I have.
We don't have copies for everyone. Okay, we had it all online.
I have a
Okay.
hard copy.
Would you like to read it?
I can read
Okay.
it. No
You're doing good.
problem.
Go ahead.
Thanks. Resolution 2025-10-1-A, Week of the School Administrator. Whereas leadership matters for the Pacifica School District and the students we serve every day. The strong leadership, resilience, flexibility, problem solving, and hard work of administrators supports the ongoing learning of all students and staff. And whereas the title school administrator is a broad term used to define many education leadership posts. Superintendents, assistant superintendents, directors, principals, assistant principals, special education leaders, school business officials, classified educational leaders, including food service, bond, facilities, and instructional technology directors. And whereas school administrators are flexible, compassionate, patient, resilient, positive, and encouraging lifelong learners who embrace a growth mindset and who believe in the value of an equitable, quality public education. And whereas school administrators have reimagined their roles to meet the post-pandemic challenges by working alongside their staffs to support students and families by focusing on our pillars of student attendance, academic excellence, community engagement, and equity and inclusion. And whereas administrators are lead learners who work hard to stay focused on achieving our 3 local control accountability plan goals, where we strive to ensure that all students will have access to rigorous and engaging instruction provided by highly qualified teachers and supported by highly effective leadership with appropriate resources, where we strive to ensure that we will increase achievement for all our students while decreasing performance gaps and educational inequities, and where we strive to ensure that we will significantly increase family and community engagement to inspire and support them to be actively involved in preparing their students to be college and career ready and to reduce chronic absenteeism. And whereas school administrators understand the importance of family engagement in a student's success and partner with teachers to provide parent support and serve on a wide variety of district communities. And whereas school leaders team with parents, volunteers, community partners, and staff to meet the needs of our students and families and promote ongoing student achievement and school success, serving as an example of public service and pride in our community, as together we work towards preparing our students for an evolving world. And whereas most school leaders begin their careers as teachers, with the average educational leader serving in public education for more than a decade. Most of California's superintendents have served in education for more than 20 years. Such experience is beneficial in their work to effectively and efficiently lead public education and improve student achievement. And whereas research shows great schools are led by great principals and great districts are led by great superintendents, these site leaders are important by extensive administrative networks throughout the county and state. Whereas the state of California has declared the week of October 12th through 18, 2025 as the week of the school administrator per Ed Code 44015.1, and whereas the future of California's public education system and the more than 6 million students it serves depends upon the quality of its leadership, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees strongly encourages all members of the district community to join us and personally express their appreciation to our school leaders for their dedication and commitment to the students, families, and staff of the Pacifica School District.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, you're up.
Is it
Oh, yes.
It's
Okay.
recommended that
So-
the Board of Trustees approve Resolution 2025-10-1-A to honor district school administrators during the week of the school administrator, October 12th through 18th, 2025.
Are there any questions? Okay. Do I have a recommendation to adopt the resolution 2025-10-01-A? Or motion, sorry. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, item 11C, employment agreement for interim co-executive director of educational support services, Rachel Roma.
Thank you. So throughout her career, Dr. Carla Chavez Torres has launched dual language programs, MTSS frameworks, and school cultural initiatives as a principal, and is widely recognized for her collaborative approach, her ability to build trust, and her unwavering focus on equity, inclusion, and staff and student success. As interim co-executive director of Educational Support Services, Dr. Chavez Torres looks forward to working closely with district leadership, staff, and community partners to strengthen services, expand access, and ensure that every student and educator has the resources and support they need to thrive. So you've seen the agreement. It is recommended that the board approve the interim co-executive director of Educational Support Services employment agreement for Dr. Carla Chavez Torres.
Are there any questions?
I do have a question about the budget and how this is going to affect our financial situation, having an additional position.
So one of the directors of educational support will be covered with CTE grant funding that we received.
Thanks.
So this, yes.
Perfect.
So that is, yes.
Thank you. That's what I
Okay.
wanted to hear. Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the employment agreement for the interim co-executive director of Educational Support Services? Do I have a second? Okay, item 11D, employment agreement for interim director of human resources. And it was going to be Dr. Bowman, but I believe it's Dr. Ladd in her
Yes, it
absence.
is. I'm here around employment agreement for interim director of human resources. It is recommended that the board approve the employment agreement for the interim director of human resources, Rachel Romo. Before leading human resources, Rachel served as the principal at Cabrillo and Ortega Elementary, where she oversaw staff hiring, evaluations, and professional growth. She placed a strong focus on recruiting and developing talented, student-focused teachers, strengthening school culture, and ensuring compliance with district policies. As interim human resources director, she is dedicated to strengthening employee recruitment and support systems, expanding professional learning opportunities, and fostering a positive, collaborative district culture. Again, it is recommended that the board approve the employment agreement for interim director of human resources for Rachel Romo.
Are there any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the employment agreement for interim director of human resources?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second? Okay. Item 11E, Pacifica School District initial proposal for negotiations with the Salada Education Association, LSEA, for the 2025-26 school year. Rachel Romo.
The public notice or sunshine provisions for the Educational Employment Relations Act require the Board of Trustees to adopt at a public meeting the initial contract proposals from the Pacifica School District following an opportunity for public comment. After allowing an opportunity for comment, the board shall take action on the Pacifica School District's proposal. Here is the proposal, the initial proposals to LSEA for the 2025-2026 school year successor negotiated agreement. Pursuant of Government Code Section 3547, the Pacifica School District hereby submits the following initial proposal regarding the 2025-2026 negotiations over a successor negotiated agreement with the Laguna Salada Education Association. Article 8, Hours. PSD has an interest in discussing members' duty day and professional obligations, including pursuing the establishment of consistent times for TK and K at all school sites. Article 9, Compensation. PSD has an interest in providing unit members a total compensation package, all forms of salary and health and welfare benefits that will attract and retain qualified teachers while maintaining sound fiscal practices in the stable district economy to the benefit of the entire district community. Article 11, Class Size. PSD has an interest in clarifying language to provide clear guidance and eliminate the potential for conflicting interpretations. Article 13, Standards-Based Evaluation. PSD has an interest in updating this article and any related forms, documents to incorporate the 2025-2026 California standards for the teaching profession. The district reserves the right to reopen additional subjects, articles during the course of negotiations as the need may arise. In compliance with Government Code Section 3547, Subdivision D. The district looks forward to collaborative negotiations with LSCA in our continued joint efforts to address issues and interests of mutual concern. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt the Pacifica School District's initial contract proposals for negotiation with Laguna Salada Education Association for the 2025-2026 school year.
Okay, do you have any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to adopt the district's initial proposal for negotiations with LSEA for 25-26 school year? Okay, do I have a second? Okay, item 11F, Pacifica School District Initial Proposal 2025 through 28, negotiations for successor agreement with the California School Employees Association, CSEA, and its Chapter 128. Rachel Romo.
The public notice sunshine provisions of the Educational Employee Relations Act require the Board of Trustees to adopt at a public meeting the initial contract proposals from the Pacifica School District following an opportunity for public comment. After allowing the opportunity for comment, the board shall take action on the Pacifica School District's proposal. Here is the Pacifica School District's proposal to sunshine for the 2025-2028 negotiations for successor agreement with California School Employees Association and its chapter number 128. The governing board of the Pacifica School District presents the following initial proposal to the California School Employees Association and its chapter 128, referred to as CSEA, for successor negotiations of a collective bargaining agreement between the parties for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. It is the district's intent to work collaboratively with the CSEA members and their designated representatives to reach a fair and equitable agreement that protects the interests of the district, bargaining unit employees, students, and parents. Generally, incorporation of agreed modification of contract terms and other agreements into the successor agreement. The district proposes to incorporate into the successor agreement relevant and agreed upon ongoing terms for tentative agreements, MOUs, and/or side letters between the parties reached during the 3 years preceding the anticipated successor CBA. The district proposes to negotiate terms related to the following specific articles. Article 1, Agreement. Modify the term of the agreement to July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. The district will propose terms for reopeners for the 2026-2027 and 2027-2028 school years. Article 10, Compensation. A modest adjustment to the existing salary schedule for an increase to the 2025-2026 unit members' salary. Article 12, Leaves. Proposed a modest cap on the number of no-tell days for active members. Article 14, Transfers. Proposed elimination of provision 14.3.2 related to conference when transfer not granted. Article 20, Discipline. Proposes revision to clarify contract language related to discipline. The district reserves the right to open any other articles of the CBA or to propose inclusion of any new articles that may be deemed necessary and appropriate during the course of negotiations, provided public notice requirements are met. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt the Pacifica School District's initial contract proposal for the 2025-2028 negotiations for a successor agreement with CSEA and its chapter number 128.
Are there any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to adopt the district's initial proposal for 2025 through 2028 negotiations for successor agreement with the California School Employees Association, CSEA, Chapter 128? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. You get to sit down for a minute. You'll be back. Okay. 11G, approval of resolution 2025-10-01-B regarding authorized signers. Dr. Ladd.
Okay. It is recommended that the board approve resolution 2025-10-01-B, authorizing signers Carissa J. Bowman, Martha Ladd, Rachel Romo, Carla Chavez Torres, and Stacy Stauffer as persons who can sign orders in the name of the board. Each order drawn on the funds of the school district shall be signed by at least a majority of the members of the governing board of the district or by a person or persons authorized by the governing board to sign in its name. No person other than an officer or employee of the district shall be authorized to sign orders.
Okay. Are there any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve, adopt resolution 2025-10-01-B? Okay, do I have a second? Okay, item 11H, resolution 2025-10-01-C, recognizing Filipino American History Month. Dr. Torres.
Good evening, Board President Bradal and Board of Trustees. The Board of Trustees is asked to adopt Resolution 25-1001C, recognizing October 2025 as Filipino American History Month in the Pacifica School District. Filipino Americans have a long and significant history in the United States, with contributions spanning agriculture, labor rights, healthcare, education, the arts, military service, and public service. Today, California is home to the largest Filipino American population in the nation, with many families residing in San Mateo County. By adopting this resolution, the board acknowledges the importance of celebrating Filipino American history and culture, honoring the leadership and achievements of Filipino Americans, and encouraging students and families to deepen their understanding and appreciation of this heritage. It is recommended that the Pacifica School District Board of Trustees approve resolution number 2025-10-1C, formally recognizing October 2025 as Filipino American History Month in the Pacifica School District.
Are there any questions? Okay, do I have a motion? Yes, motion to adopt resolution 2025-10-1-C, recognizing Filipino American History Month. Do I have a second? Okay, item 11I, resolution 2025-10-1-D, recognizing LGBTQ plus History Month. Dr. Torres.
October is a month for many, many recognitions. So the Board of Trustees is also asked to adopt Resolution 2025-10-1-D, recognizing October as LGBTQ plus History Month. The resolution affirms Pacifica School District's commitment to equity, inclusion, and the rights of LGBTQ plus individuals, acknowledges the historical significance of October in LGBTQ plus civil rights history, and honors the contributions of the LGBTQ plus people to society. It highlights the district's responsibility to ensure safe, supportive, and non-discriminatory school environments, and supports the inclusion of LGBTQ plus history and representation in curricula. The resolution also authorizes the display of banners on district campuses to promote awareness, understanding, and dialogue around LGBTQ plus History Month. It is thus recommended that the Pacifica School District Board of Trustees approve resolution number 2025-10-1-D, formally recognizing October 2025 as LGBTQ plus History Month in the Pacifica School District.
Are there any questions?
I do have a question. I'm wondering if this means that gender identity and sexual orientation will be included in our curriculum.
I think we're looking into that and we can get back to you with more information.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think at the moment it's just a resolution for historical. Okay, do I have a, let's see, what is that number? You get the number right. Okay, do I have a motion to approve resolution 2025-10-1-D, recognizing LGBTQ History Month? Do I have a second? Okay. Okay, resolution, item 11J, resolution 2025-10-01-E, school safety resolution. Trustee Villalobos.
I looked back a little bit before I start reading it, and the last time we did a school shooting resolution was only 2 years ago. And so that was just with one quick search. And so this one, it happened in my old neighborhood where two of my friends actually had their niece and nephew there, and then another one, his daughter was shot. And so it's very close to my heart, and I feel like if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere. And so I wanted to read it. Whereas the Pacifica School District Board of Education is deeply saddened by the recent tragic shooting of Annunciation Catholic School K-8, Minneapolis, Minnesota on August 27th, 2025, in which 2 students were killed, 2 critically injured, and many others wounded. And since 1999, an analysis by Sandy Hook Promise states that since the Columbine High School shooting in 1999, more than 390,000 students in the U.S. have experienced gun violence at school. And whereas this incident adds to the ongoing national crisis of school shootings with data from the K-12 school shooting database, recording over 300 incidents in each of the past 2 years. And whereas the horrific prospect of school shooting made an indelible impression on the national consciousness with the Columbine Massacre of 1999. And whereas more than 150,000 Americans have experienced a shooting on campus since the Columbine tragedy, and hundreds of lives have been lost, and many more have experienced trauma as a result. And whereas the Pacifica School District Board of Education acknowledges the profound impact school gun violence has on students, staff, families, and communities nationwide. Whereas the safety, security, and well-being of students, staff, and the community is the highest priority of the Pacifica School District. Whereas the Pacifica School District Board of Education is committed to providing a safe and supportive learning environment for all students and staff. Whereas the board believes that schools, families, community partners, and local, state, and federal agencies must work together to prevent violence and ensure rapid response to threats. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Pacifica School District Board of Education 1, condemns the acts of violence at Annunciation Catholic School and all incidents of gun violence in schools. 2, affirms the commitment to maintaining safe, nurturing, and trauma-informed learning environments. 3, directs the superintendent to review, enhance, and evaluate the emergency response plans and school safety initiatives. 4, encourages collaboration with local law enforcement, mental health professionals, community organizations to prevent school violence. 5, advocates for policies at the local, state, and federal levels that prioritize school safety and address the root causes of violence. And now, therefore, be it further resolved that the Pacifica School District Board of Trustees calls upon policymakers, community members, and all stakeholders to take meaningful action to prevent school violence and to promote the health, safety, and well-being of children and school staff. Passed and adopted. Well, I guess that's for you, right?
Okay, do we have any questions? No. Okay, do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2025-10-01-E?
Make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
In favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay. Now we have the item that I had moved. It's now 11K, and we moved it from the information. I think for efficiency, we should probably go ahead and vote on it. If we do find out later that I can't last minute move something from information to action, we may need to put it back on the agenda next time, or maybe on the consent agenda. But I think since we're all teed up, we'll go ahead with the presentation of the vote. And if we have to fight it up later, we will. Okay, so that one. Let's see. So Proposition 28, Arts and Music in School Annual Report. Dr. Flores.
The Board of Trustees is asked to approve the annual Proposition 28 Arts and Music in Schools Funding Annual Report. Local education agencies such as Pacifica School District that receive Proposition 28 Arts and Music in Schools, also known as AMS, funds are required to submit an annual report and annual certification to the California Department of Education and be posted on the LEA's website. The annual report must be board approved. Included in the report is a brief description of the Proposition 28 Arts Education Program, the number of full-time equivalent teachers that were funded, the number of students served, and the number of school sites that were provided arts education program with AMS funds. Attached is both the annual report and annual certification for Proposition 28 Arts and Music in School for fiscal year 2024-2025. It is recommended that the Pacifica School District Board of Trustees approve the 2024-2025 Proposition 28 Arts and Music in Schools Funding Annual Report.
Yeah, are there any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2020? Oh, no, that's the same one. That was, okay. For the arts and music. And what was the number on that one? No, Proposition 28 was what I was looking for arts and music in schools annual report.
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
David, please raise your hand.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, item 12, Board of Trustees Superintendent's recap and future agenda items. Anyone? You recap or?
I see the Girl Scouts are coming to talk to us about an AP course in women's history.
Mhm.
Future agenda item, so that sounds exciting.
I think they've been trying to do that for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay.
For Pacifica School Volunteers, I'm planning on having a board member come do a presentation on November 19th.
Okay. That'll be great. I think they do one annually. PEF does it also. I don't know if it's the same night, but. Mhm. Okay, anything?
Is there any way we can just have like a small update? Is there any way we can have a small update about the volunteers in schools and how the progress is going with the background checks and the TB tests?
Yeah, Dr. Lynn, yeah, I would think so. Okay, so if that clock is correct, we'll adjourn at 7:36.